The Video Dead. Now this is a dad nudie. Let's get into it. The Video Dead is from 1987. It lasts about an hour and a half, and it's obviously a cash in on the whole zombie craze from Return of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, that sort of era. What's your synopsis for this? Zombies come out of TV and attack people. That there's only like 6 zombies, so don't worry. Okay, I guess it's not exactly a horde. What's the tagline? Look what's buried inside your television. Makes no sense. Well, the movie opens with 2 delivery drivers. They're delivering a mysterious package. Yeah, it's like this big old crate. Very mysterious. And they deliver it to this guy called Mr. Jordan. Yeah, this is Henry Jordan. He takes the package and he says he didn't order anything, but they say there's no cash on delivery or anything. It's been paid for, so it must be a gift or something. He takes it inside, opens it up. Yeah, this mysterious old crate, and inside it's a TV. Who packages a television like that? I don't know. But he's less than impressed. He says he doesn't even watch TV.
What's all your furniture pointed at?
So he just leaves it lying and goes and gets on with his work. He's a writer, you see. Not that that matters in this now. He's in it for about 4 minutes. Well, yeah, spoiler, he's in it for about 4 minutes. Because while he's writing, the TV keeps switching on and he goes through it. Yeah, he's not exactly surprised. He's just like mildly inconvenienced. If it was me, I'd be scared or at least shocked. Not just annoyed. It's a bit strange. Anyway, he goes to bed that night. The TV bursts to life again. Yeah, now it's lying on its back on the floor. And a zombie crawls out of the TV. It's actually quite a cool effect. It's not bad. And then we cut to the next morning. The delivery drivers are back. They're talking to each other and they're saying, we've sent this to the wrong address. This was supposed to go to the Department of Occult Warfare.
That sounds made up.
Occult Warfare. Absolute nonsense. And also, how did they just get his address randomly? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he stays anywhere near the Department of Occult Warfare. So it's a bit strange that he received the package. Anyway, they chat his door, and then there's no answer, so they just decide, let's open his door. What kind of delivery drivers do this? Just leave a little card saying, sorry you're out. But they don't, they open the door, and he's there, dead. In a party hat. Yeah, I don't know why the killers have put a party hat on him, but there you go. Do you know, I think I would have quite enjoyed this when I was a teenager, really. Yeah, if I saw this when I was a kid or a teenager, this would be right up my alley. You know, it's not the best made, you can say that again. The acting is atrocious. And the production values aren't much better. No, but it's got something about it I would have liked. You were a strange kid. So next time we see the house in the very next scene, it's been sold. I don't know how long's passed that it's been sold. And this young lady named Zoe is moving in. She says to the taxi driver who drops us off, and to us, that she's never been there before. Our parents have bought this house. They are abroad at the moment, but they bought this house for the family to live in. So Zoe moves in, and as she's unpacking, someone enters the house. Yeah, someone with dirty shoes. Someone dragging one of their feet. Clearly a zombie. But no, it's not. It's her little brother Jeff. Yeah, who never drags his foot later in the movie. I don't know why. I thought maybe he's going to have a lint in this movie, or he had a disability of some kind. But no, it's just to fake us out. It's a bit strange. If the character had a sore leg or an impairment of some kind later in the movie, then I would understand why he's dragging his feet right now. But there's no reason for it other than to try and trick us, the audience. The character's not trying to do it. He's not trying to trick his sister. He's not trying to trick us. He doesn't know he's in the movie. But he's not. He's in, like, this is not a movie. Well, anyway, this is Jeff. And Jeff is 16 and he's got one t-shirt. He wears the same t-shirt all the way through the movie. So he helps his sister unpack a bit. And then it's off to bed. And the next morning, Jeff is woken up by the doorbell. Yeah, and he wakes up, right, in his t-shirt. And then by the time he's answering the door, he's taking his t-shirt off. Oh yeah, that's right, so he has. How strange. Anyway, he opens the door and it's this guy called Joshua. This is Joshua Daniels, who says, listen kid, I'm here to help you. You don't know what's happening, but something strange is going on and I need to come into your house. Yeah, and Jeff's like, no, get out of here, crazy man. So Joshua just leaves. Doesn't take much convincing to just leave.
Winner.
Despite knowing that everyone's in imminent danger. Anyway, later that day, Jeff is in the garden, tidying up leaves, and then he meets one of his neighbours. Yes, this is April, and April's walking this little dog called Chocolate. And Jeff and her instantly like each other. They start talking away, and while they're talking away,
guess what happens?
Chocolate runs off and meets a zombie. Yeah, the dog runs into the woods, comes face to face with the zombie. They cut back to April and Jeff. By now they realise the dog's missing. They go looking for it, and they find Chocolate dead. Luckily we don't see it. Yeah. And now in a zombie movie, if a dog has to be attacked by a zombie, I would assume it's either been torn apart or eaten or turned into a zombie dog. Cool. Yeah. But what actually happens is it died of a heart attack. What? Anyway, turns out Chocolate is not April's dog. It's a dog she was looking after for another neighbour. And Jeff and April are completely ambivalent to the fact that a poor animal has died. They're just thinking, well, what can we say to cover this up? We can't say it ran away and had a heart attack. I don't know why. No, so they decide, let's stuff a tennis ball down its throat and say someone threw a tennis ball, the dog tried to catch it and swallowed it. Yeah, that's far more believable. Who wrote this? One of the zombies? Maybe. Anyway, later that night, Jeff has found the old TV. Yeah, for some reason it's now in the attic. He brings it downstairs easily. I don't know how he got it down from the attic single-handedly. It looks pretty heavy. Anyway, he puts it in his room, switches it on, and lights up a little spliff. Yeah, and he's watching this. And every time the TV comes on, it's like a zombie movie. Yeah. So he watches the zombie. It's clearly filmed in the same woods that this movie's set in. Yeah. So he's watching this zombie movie, and then the picture goes fuzzy. He tries to fix it, and he gets a new movie. Yeah, and it's this sexy lady, and she's saying, "Hi, Jeff. You're so sexy.
Glad your little girlfriend couldn't come over and keep you company tonight.
I really want to kiss you." And then she comes through the TV into his room, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe this is happening," like a horny teenager. But she's here, she's in his room, she takes her clothes off and kisses him. Yes, she does.
He's a kid.
And then the next thing you know, she's back inside the TV, and an old man appears behind her and cuts her throat. And Jeff's like, "Oh, how did you do that?" And the old man says, "They call me the garbage nan. I take out human garbage. Look at her, she's not human." And it shows her dead body. And she's a decomposed corpse. She's a zombie in disguise. None of this makes sense. Why is the garbage nan there in the TV killing this goonin? He says she's not human. I'm taking out human garbage. So how did he take her out? I don't know. How did she become a decomposed zombie upon death? Well, that was just a disguise, I guess. Yeah, none of this, it doesn't make sense, Nan. And guess what, this garbage Nan? You'll never see him again. Oh yeah, that's true. This is his only scene. It's a bit odd. It's bizarre. After this, Jeff takes the remainders of his bag of weed and flushes it down the toilet and says, "That's it, no more for me." It's like the alcoholic, the wino, pouring away his drink and he sees Superman fly, or James Don's car, or something like that. Jeff decides, let's get rid of this TV for some reason. He knows it's a TV. He takes it to the basement and tries to cover it in masking tape. Yeah, that a hand comes out and starts attacking, so he has to cut it off and put it down the garbage disposal in his kitchen. And again, he doesn't seem quite as freaked out as most people would be. By the way, he's doing this next morning. He's not taking care of it straight away. He's had a nice little sleep first. Yeah, that's true. He obviously slept okay. But the next day he does that, and then we see zombies descending on April's house. I don't know why. I don't know where they came from. Did they come from the TV while he's asleep? Did not touch him? Or his sister? I don't know. But anyway, they're at April's house. April isn't in, so the zombies go in and they kill Maria. Who is Maria? I don't know, because at some point she answers the phone and it seems like she's the maid and she's got an accent, which in movies like this you kind of think, well, she probably is cast as a maid in 1987. But she might be her nun. She might be April's mum. It's really not clear, because it's April, her dad, and Maria. But Maria, every time we see her, I think she's doing housework. Well, not this time. This time she's being strangled by a zombie. Yeah, she picks up a couple of knitting needles to stab the zombie. They disappear. She does nothing with them. You don't know what happens to them. But then she reaches out and grabs an iron and sticks it right in the zombie's head. And it does nothing. The zombie still kills her and just walks around the rest of the day with an iron in his head. Also, in April's house, one of the zombies, a lady zombie, she finds a wig. I don't know whose leg it is that she takes it, and she is known as the Bride. I don't know who she thinks is going to marry her. Well, she thinks she's the bride. And then they go into another room and kill April's dad. Sorry, April. So that night, April returns home, finds this scene, and runs to Jeff's house. So Jeff and Zoe say, you stay here for the night. And then Joshua Daniels returns to the door. So they let him in. Joshua, Jeff, and Zoe sit around talking about zombies while April decides to go and brush her teeth in someone else's house. She's retired at least. She meets the zombie in the bathroom and then she just passes out. The zombie carries her away. So you think, oh right, so Jeff will have to rescue her. Not! Next time you see her, she's been eaten.
What the?
Yeah, I don't know why the zombie didn't kill her or eat her just in the house while he was there. But he took her away to a little cabin in the woods. What else is he doing with her? I don't know. And the zombie that takes her, it's David Bowie. It's no David Bowie. Although I can see why you're saying that. So Joshua, Jeff and Zoe find April is missing and they decide to come up with a plan. Joshua gives some valuable information, like the only way to defeat the zombies is to let them know they're dead because they think they're still alive. So let them know they're dead and then they'll return to nature. Whatever that means, I don't get it. And the next morning, Jeff and Joshua go hunting for zombies. They take a machete and a bow and arrow. They take out one of the zombies straight away with the bow and arrow and then they cut it in half. Yeah. Oh yeah, they've also brought along a little chainsaw. Yeah, and Jeff is like, oh my goodness, when he sees the chainsaw. And Joshua says, I didn't say this with the treaty. And then Jeff says, no, I'm saying oh my goodness because I want a shot. Yeah, so he cuts up the zombie's body. What a weird kid. As the day goes on, Jeff is used as bait. Yeah, he's hung from a tree. Joshua hides in a cabin watching it, but then just falls asleep. He does. He wakes up to the sound of Jeff trying to fight off the zombies with his little chainsaw. One of the zombies steals a chainsaw, the bride, and she runs off with it.
Good for her.
But Jeff and Joshua manage to kill all the other zombies. Yeah, only the bride remains. And they watch her walk away and they're like, huh, what's she like? But they decide, let's go and get her. So they go hunting for her, but she sneaks up behind them and stabs Joshua with an arrow. And then she starts to chase Jeff because she's still got the chainsaw, you see. Jeff runs into a cabin where he finds April's disemboweled body. And the bride comes in. Jeff remembers he's got his machete, takes it out and chops off the head of the bride. Yet at the same time she falls forward and stabs the chainsaw into him. Jeff's dead? I couldn't believe it. They killed him. There was a bit of a twist in this movie. And as he's dying, he says, April, and then dies.
April.
Teenage boy dead. Nice. And it's all for nothing because a few minutes later, all the zombies that Joshua and Jeff killed come back to life. It's ridiculous. And they all go to Zoe's house. Now Zoe stuck some mirrors on the front door because Joshua had told her they're repelled by their own reflection. Yeah.
Ugly bastards.
So they come to the door and they're like, ah. Yeah. Zoe's inside terrified, but she remembers more wise words from Joshua.
When a living person shows fear, all they want to do is kill.
Which is nonsense. So she thinks I'd better act friendly. So she opens the door and says, why won't you come in, my friends, and act all friendly to them? Yeah, she's a perfect host. And then she remembers more words. To kill them, trapped in a place with absolutely no escape, they'll go crazy and eat themselves. So she lures him to the basement. Yeah, how does she do that? With the promise of a dance.
Dancing? That's called dancing. Oh, this isn't the proper place for dancing. The best place for dancing is in the basement. Or didn't you know that?
Closes the door, and on the back of the door's a mirror, so they can't open the door. Yeah, and they instantly start to eat each other. Yeah, except one that just explodes for some reason. Yeah, it's not like they're there for weeks and before they start to eat each other. They are there for seconds.
Literally.
What kind of zombies are these? Eventually, the surviving ones crawl back into the TV and disappear. While this is happening, Zoe rushes out the house. Cut to later, Zoe's parents arrive. Yeah, they just landed back in the country and they're straight to the hospital to see Zoe, who is in the psychiatric ward, recovering from hell. And they go in and the dad says, "Hey, sweetheart, hope you're okay. We brought you something. Got you a little surprise. We thought you might need some company." So they give her the TV from the distant. It switches on, the zombies start to come from the TV, Zoe screams, and that's the end of the movie. I did not like this. I mean, it's funny, it's entertaining, but it's not great. It's not. I think I would have enjoyed it as a kid. I think I would have had a soft spot for it. You're easily entertained. It was the 80s. There was not a lot to do, clearly. Anyway, getting trivia? Oh yes. A sequel to this movie was written, but never produced, because the company offered the same budget to the director that he said he wanted more zombies and more special effects, so he couldn't work with that budget. So it was never made. And it was all about people being sucked into the zombie world through the TV. That could have been alright. Probably not. Anything else? Yeah, see the zombie, the one that comes out the TV? Yeah. The actor had to be taken outside. He almost passed out because when he was coming out the TV, he's breathing in all that dry ice, all that CO2. He almost died. That's no funny. No, but it's ironic. He's a zombie. Okay, any more? Yeah. Jeff, real name Rocky Duval, was kissing this naked adult lady when he was 16. Call the cops. That's the video dead from 1987. Let us know your thoughts. Hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video. Don't change the channel. They should have said something like that.